and welcome to yet another edition of. It's been a whole month since I streamed. Yeah, but I promise you I will get streaming more often in the near future. But I wanted to talk about something. Also, that is the long way from where I was intending to go. Anyway, so you're probably wondering. So you're talking about that again, huh? Yeah. So I wanted to talk a bit about, you know, this subject in the stream, PlayStation Home, and how it is long rumored to come back. There's evidence piling up by the daily, not by the daily, but just every so often. I just keep saying that as a general joke, but the point still stands. You're probably wondering, so my brain is absent. No. You're probably wondering, so you're talking about PlayStation Home, but what's the real focus? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, in the description of this stream, I put that I was going to be talking about an idea for a trailer that Sony might do for a new PlayStation Home. Because, as you all know, they did put out a Welcome Home trailer back in 2009, so like 15 years ago. But I'm talking about like a theoretical trailer that they could use for the new PlayStation. You're probably thinking, well, okay, so how's that gonna work out? Well, let me tell you. It all starts off with the main character of this fine trailer. I fast forward to crap. Let's rewind the clock. One stupid vocal sound effect later. Okay, so it all starts off with a tried and true ding, the PlayStation logo sound effect. And then we have, instead of the PlayStation Studios animation, like for the logo, instead it'll just show text that says PlayStation Studios Presents. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, but wasn't the game made by... Oh yeah, I forgot that studio closed down earlier this year, before they could even show off their game, which is now sadly canned. Anyway, so, yeah. Um, anyway, so we have the PlayStation logo, the dong, and then we have the PlayStation Studios Presents text. So the normal logo that you would normally see the animation of. Then we hear an alarm clock, and that's when the screen is still black. A second or two later, we cut to a camera showing an alarm clock beeping, and then you see a hand pressing down. That would be the hand of the protagonist of this trailer. I say protagonist, but there is no heroes or villains in this trailer at all. It's just, I'm calling them a protagonist because it's the general term that you use for the main character. Anyway, so they grab their phone, which is conveniently right next to the alarm clock. Doesn't everyone do that? And then what happens is they turn it on, and they will then see a message or two from a friend. I say a message or two because, it's a message, like the first message says, "Did you hear? We're going home." And then that second message shows a picture that we can't really make heads or tails of until the camera closes in on the protagonist's eyeball. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of weird and a little gross, but hear me out. It's because of the reflection in the eye is showing the home logo. course, it's mirrored because obviously eyeballs reflect stuff, so duh. Um, so then the protagonist gets out of bed, gets a change of clothes, but of course they take a shower because anyone has to do that to start their day. Heck, I just took a shower earlier. Anyway, so after they take a shower and put on their clothes for the day, they go into the living room, make their own breakfast, and turn on the TV. And there's a breaking news story from live from PS5. Yeah, you all remember that from last year? I sure do. And I am going to do a little bit of voice acting here. I'm not a voice actor like professionally, but I do voice act for the characters I roleplay as and stuff. So this is live from PS5, bringing you the latest. And here we have a special guest by the name of Magnus. Magnus? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to PlayStation Home. Or, if you're new, welcome home. You'll find here at this awesome social hub that you'll be able to hang out, play games, and accessorize. So, whether you're visiting people in the hub, or playing some mini games at the bowling alley, there's something for everyone. And that'll do it. So, get on out there and go home. This has been live from PS5, bringing you the latest. I hope y'all enjoyed that, because, yeah, that shows my vocal range. I even tried to replicate Magnus's voice from, the virtual item showcases. Anyway, so the protagonist immediately turns off the TV after watching that. Not out of disgust, but out of them preparing to leave. Because they also pick up the phone right after and call a number, which the camera shows the number that they're typing in, which is a fictional number, so it doesn't actually work. But, yeah. The number itself is actually a minor reference to a space within PlayStation Home from back in the day called the Playground. Actually, yeah. The number can be called, it's just that it'll have like a special little Easter egg where it'll say, "Hey, Home Cab Company." I apologize if you guys hear that in the background. That is, yard work. Anyway, so after that, the protagonist calls them. Of course, you never hear the protagonist speaking because it kind of lends credence to the whole silent protagonist thing. Which, given the fact that PlayStation Home, your avatar didn't really speak verbally, unless, you had a microphone, but that's different. It's kind of like how GTA Online works. Anyway. Hey, Chad. Man, they're going to town in that grass. Anyway, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so after the protagonist calls Home Cab Company, yes, that is the official name of the cab company in the trailer. Of course, again, you never hear the protagonist speaking, but it is implied that they do speak directly to the cab company owner, because the cab company owner immediately says, "Gotcha, we'll send a cab over." And, cut back to the apartment the protagonist is in, and they hear a doorbell. So, ding dong.
Hey Matt, this is Lisa.
This was, well, people would get so mad because how slow you're going. I mean, I get that, but I'm not trying to race around the map. I'm driving at a leisurely pace. Well, yeah, I am going the speed limit, although I just broke the law by going through a stoplight. Anyway, yeah. So, so the cab arrives, and that's why the doorbells rang, ringed. I don't know. And look, a mountain lion is scared. Shut up. I almost made menacing mistake. Anyway, so the protagonist. I apologize for that voice crack. The protagonist opens the door, and immediately there's a taxi driver waiting for them. The protagonist has some bags ready because they took the time waiting for the cab to get there to get their bags packed. And so they grab their bags and follow the cab driver down to their car. And immediately they put their bags in the car. And the protagonist, of course, sits in the passenger seat behind the driver. No, not. No. It's the back passenger seat behind the front driver's seat. Because you have to remember, most taxi cabs are typically sedans like Crown Victorias and stuff. So it would be the back right passenger seat, not, the one behind the driver. And it's so that way the driver can, look behind them and kind of glance at you just to check in on you. Also, hey, I got 3 people watching. Hello. So, the taxi driver immediately tells the passenger, hey, don't worry, I already know where you want to go. And so they immediately, that was a weird way to say that. They immediately leave the apartment and drive to a place known as Home Station. Also, for those just tuning in, I'm discussing a proof of concept trailer that I thought up of for a potential reveal for PlayStation Home for PS5. Because there's just way too much evidence to suggest that it's not coming back. And I know I sound really hopeful, but it's going to happen. I mean, come on. I think the biggest hint that it's coming back is undoubtedly PlayStation Stars. Because they did say that there would be console integration. Anyway, so they eventually make their way to the train station, and when they get there, they see numerous PlayStation characters just now arriving at the station. With Nathan Drake and Sam Drake, Kratos and Atreus, Ratchet and Clank, Aloy, Deacon, all the different PlayStation IPs that we see presently, like in present day. What would you do though if it doesn't come back? I mean, I would just accept it. Like, I'm not going to be upset. It's, if it does come back, then, hey, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, then that's okay too, because... Yeah, but I'm just saying this as, like, fact. Like, I won't be upset if it doesn't come back, but if it does come back, then I think you'll know what I'll be doing. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, so they get there to the train station, and you immediately hear over the intercom, attention passenger. No. That would only make sense if they're going onto the train, if they're just now arriving. Yeah, let me rephrase that in a way that doesn't sound really frickin' stupid. Attention new arrivals to Home Station. We are pleased to announce that we are now accepting tickets to go to PlayStation Home. So it's after that the protagonist immediately exits the vehicle and grabs their belongings. The taxi driver bids them farewell and says that they hope they'll enjoy themselves at wherever they're going. Because the taxi drivers themselves have never been to the world of PlayStation Home. They've only heard of it and have seen pictures, so they know what it kind of looks like. And so, yeah. Anyway, so the protagonist makes their way to the concession, or not, the ticket counter. You know, the person at a train station takes your tickets and stuff. So they get their ticket and they get it checked out by the train conductor. And no, this isn't a steam train. We're not talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. It's one of those transit train things that you'd see nowadays. I've seen a few of those. In fact, there's one that travels by pretty close by. So, yeah. Anyway, so after the protagonist gets their tickets checked... Whoa! We interrupt this broadcast to bring you... Oh my gosh. Okay then. Anyway, so no view because I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I don't mind that. Like, I honestly didn't even notice, but that's only because of the fact that I have a lot of friends on there, so kind of hard to keep track sometimes. Shut up! Anyway, yeah, anyway, I guess while I'm evading the authorities here, oh wait, jeez, you guys just keep coming. I would, but... Catch you later, Chad. They'll never catch me here. Anyway, yeah, so, getting back to what I was saying, my brain's going. How? Oh, that makes sense. Anyway, not deal with this, please. Okay. Can I please evade this? I want to get back to peaceful talks. Oh, come on!
I'll kill you! Hey, slow down! Give it up!
Okay, can I not have difficulties? I just want to talk. Anyway. While I'm evading these people, as I was saying, so basically what happens is the protagonist gets their tickets, they get their bags checked into the transit train, and then they find a seat where it is announced on the train's intercom. Attention passengers, we will be departing shortly to make our way to PlayStation Home, to the world of PlayStation Home. Our next destination is the hub. So it's after that oh, okay, guess I have to go all the way over there. Yeah. It's okay, I'll call in my vehicle when I get there. Although this is not at all what I wanted to do for my stream, by the way. I wanted it to be a nice, relaxing drive, but no, I just had to go after the van, because, why not? Anyway. So, it's at this point that you see the camera pan around to see different people, both PlayStation characters and, some people wearing outfits that are actually references to the original PlayStation Home, including one that I personally would like the most, which is preset avatars that I chose. Actually, the outfit that I'm wearing right now in GT Online is a reference to that preset. Anyway, well, I guess we can go back to that road. Yeah, why not? Sorry, my brain's drawing a blank because of course it is. Then the train leaves the station, and it's there that the camera cuts to a view outside the train window that our protagonist is seeing. It's there that we see a large island in the distance that has a lot of buildings and a lot of different things, including a Ferris wheel, which is a reference to Pier Park, which also has a roller coaster there because the original Pier Park didn't have that, so let's just say this new PlayStation Home that I've envisioned as new stuff in addition to old stuff. Anyway, so eventually the train does make it to its destination after a while. And, yeah, so they get to the station, and immediately the protagonist, they get up as the train stops, and everyone starts stepping off of the train. Also, I did not expect that to still be there. Anyway, yeah, so they get there, they all leave the train, and it's there that the protagonist sees somebody calling out to them, saying, "Hey, you must be the person I'm looking for. Follow me, I'll take you to where you need to." No. "Hey, you must be the person I'm looking for. Just come with me, I'll show you where you need to go." And it's implied here that the protagonist is new to PlayStation Home. But it is also possible that they may not have been there in a long time, which, is actually the case, because the person that they're talking to ends up saying, we haven't seen your face here in quite a while, but at least you're back. And it's there that they go to an apartment complex, which has a very familiar sign, Harbor Studio. And as the trailer starts to come to a close, the tour guide ends up saying, you know, this place has gone through a lot of renovations since you left. But I think you'll like it. I think our new residents will too. So they then hand them the keys to go into the apartment, where they step in and immediately just take in the view. Beautifully organized furniture, nice lighting, and you know, it is fully renovated from what it originally was, because the original Harbor Studio was a single-story apartment. This one has like 2 stories, with the first story having the same kind of oval shape on the ceiling, but in the form of a oval-shaped light. And then after walking around a little bit, they go upstairs and see the same flooring that they once knew. It's there that the protagonist sits their phone down and their belongings, and you finally hear them say one thing: welcome home. So yeah, that is my proof of concept for the trailer. I know I kind of deviated quite a bit, this being one of the reasons. But yeah, I'm not saying they have to do that for a trailer. They could just do like a callback to the original trailer they did back in 2009. But I like my idea better. But it's all up to Sony, and that's if they are bringing it back. But some people have noticed that, hey, I've noticed some stuff too about it, and it's very much possible that it is coming back. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say, aside from there is supposedly a state of play later on this month, and if there is one, I should say this. The state of play is rumored to have some first-party announcements, pretty significant ones too. So if that is the case, and one of those announcements is PlayStation Home, I will make a deal with you. If and when PlayStation Home is announced, that will be a new Let's Play. And it will be there that I will stream more often to showcase new stuff that has come out. And, you know, yeah. And I will be more than glad to share that experience with y'all. So that way y'all can see just how much that game means to me, and how much it'll mean to me to see it make a big comeback. With that being said, as we make our way back to the Diamond Casino Resort, I want to talk to y'all about some stuff I would like to see in this new PlayStation Home. I wanted to get the trailer out of the way because it would be a long-winded conversation in and of itself. So, I have a little wish list that I would like to talk about with this new PlayStation Home. I've already briefly talked about one of the topics, which is renovated spaces and how those could play out. We have Harbor Studio being a 2-story apartment instead of the single story it once was. You know, and what I mean by that what I mean by the oval-shaped light is, in the original Harbor Studio, you saw a crooked oval-shaped window that's on the rooftop of the building. What I would like to see is, if they do the 2-story route with this apartment, what they could do is, on the bottom floor, they can have that same oval shape, complete with the same angling of the oval and, you know, stuff like that. It's going to be an outline. It's not going to be like a giant oval that's glowing. It's not going to be filled in. It's going to be an outline, sort of. And, you know, that'll be like where you start off. Like, whenever you spawn in, you'll be on that bottom floor, And it'll be when you go outside onto the balcony that you'll see a staircase that'll lead up to the second floor, which will allow you to check out the above floor, which is more akin to the original of the studio. Then we have Pier Park, which I did mention will have a roller coaster, and it'll also have arcade games and stuff, different mini games to teach you the ropes of how mini games work and what kind of rewards you can get. The hub will be mostly similar to its original counterpart, with the noticeable addition of a set of staircases on either side of the hub, so one on the left and one on the right. Of course, it'll also have a expanded dance floor with a circular space in the middle for any advertising materials, such as like, a new game space or something like that. So yeah. Also, we're not going to the Diamond Casino quite yet. Okay, we're not going there at all then. Again, my streams have been getting pretty short, so I guess I might as well increase the longevity. So, I hear you wondering, okay, so what next? Well, let's talk about the in-game economy. And I'm going to use GTA Online here as a good example of this. I would like to see the introduction of a virtual currency system within PlayStation. One that, while there are microtransactions to get yourself a certain amount of this virtual currency, it is by no means required, and you'll be able to get a good amount of currency for just simply playing. Whether it's playing a minigame that will give you rewards, or just simply logging in, or completing quests, stuff like that. And it's with this virtual currency that you'd be able to buy items for your avatar, for your space, or, buying spaces entirely, like personal spaces. It will give the user the ability to not have to worry about, because think of it like this. Some PlayStation Network users have their actual, bank account linked to their PSN account, for PlayStation Store. I don't have a bank account, so I had to get wallet funds, from the cards. So I do occasionally buy those. But it would eliminate the process of having to do that, because you wouldn't have to worry about having to manage your money in case, you're an actually functioning adult in society that has stuff that they need to do in their day-to-day life. This virtual currency system would remove that worry, because you'd always have a way to get this currency. As for what this currency would be called, I am going to call it PlayStation Cash, simply because of the fact that there's a game I technically still have called Dreams. It's just not downloaded on the console. But basically, I'm trying to think. Oh, right. So there's been a few PlayStation Home creations in Dreams, and one of them has its own currency, which is, of course, called PlayStation Cash. So I know that it's kind of on the nose in terms of the currency name, and it's kind of copying off somebody else's thing, but it's just a general name, I thought. It doesn't have to be called that. They could call it something else if they'd like to. But yeah. So anyway, Then we have the mailbox system. So how that would work is, did you just drive into the water? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so how the mailbox system would work is that, okay, say there's a really cool event going on from a game developer, and you participate in that event and you get a prize. You will get a message within your mailbox from that developer, or this could also be from like a friend who has gifted you an item, or something along those lines. It could be anything. So you open it, and normally what would happen is you would get like a download code for something. Instead, what it'll be is you just simply press a button to redeem whatever item it is. It could be like a clothing item, a furniture item, an entire personal space, as stated before. But if it's from PlayStation and it's a really, really big event that you participate in and you do everything in that event quest related, you could get a game, like an actual game. And you could also get like a redeemable prize for having wallet funds added to your account. And I could definitely see Sony doing that this year to celebrate the 30th anniversary of PlayStation. Um, so yeah. Next, I'm going to talk about something that I'm pretty damn sure they might do, but they might also not do. And that would be returning player benefits. Now you're probably thinking, wait, returning player benefits, but what does that mean? So here's what I mean. I don't mean this like getting your stuff back, like in GTA Online, where you keep your stuff from the older versions of the game. What I mean by this instead is that your old items won't be given back to you simply because of the fact that, that's on older servers that are no longer functional. They have gotten rid of those old servers, so they're going to be running the game on new ones. What I instead mean is that they will give you items to mark your return. So, for example, you'll get a
Hey, man.
home t-shirt that looks faded. Like you'll have an old shirt that has like a design on it that looks faded due to time and age. Um, yeah. You'll also receive a gold-plated, no, not gold-plated, like a golden tuxedo to mark your return, or a golden dress depending on the avatar that you use, whether it be male or female. Of course, you can also go the neutral route of just, picking and choosing what aspects of your avatar you want to adjust. It's all up to the user. Um, anyway.
OBG, you out of bounds, boy.
I'ma kill your ass once, I'ma kill your ass again, you dig?
That was weird.
You ain't got no damn, you hit. Ah, shit! Somebody died!
You ain't smashed on the homie.
Put some pressure.
That guy looks like he had a bad day. Anyway. Yeah. So, let me think here. Yeah? I didn't even know we were leaving. Alright, let me get dressed and stuff. Kind of an impromptu thing, but I'm gonna have to leave. So, I hope you all enjoyed this, though. Catch you all later.